versus Gul'dan.
Alright, here we go, guys. For this time, I'm gonna do these gameplay videos with a face cam as well. And just so I can talk to you guys while we're playing the game, as opposed to previous videos where I just had Monster Cat music playing. Now I can kind of talk to you about my mistakes primarily. Alright, so we don't have a turn 1 play, but our turn 2 play is really strong. Uh, to Pious Bandit, if you get the combo off, it's actually a really good card, especially the Zoo along. That's the perfect target for backstab. So this is probably like probably the best card we could have, because now we got rid of that. We have two cards that can trade into his 2-mana minion. Zoo will usually prefer a 3/2 minion over 2/3 minion. Unless it's a knife juggler. I'm not sure how many uses a knife juggler. Okay, so that's a 1/3. And then you've got two, maybe. Yeah, okay. So this hits the. That's not the worst possible target it could have hit. Alright. So right now we're thinking of what the best way to deal with this is. Um, we can Shadow Strike. Now the problem with this is that both cards now trade into that, which means we kind of have to wait for him to play his next card. So he attacks one and then we can ping it with the weapon. But even then, it's not a great position to be in. So we just have to backstab this knife juggler. Now we just have to wait a turn. There's not much we could do about it. We got unlucky in the ping that it actually hit this 2/2 as opposed to.
Get it out! Get it out!
Yeah, okay. So he's spitting out cards a lot faster than us. Zoo is generally not a great matchup for this deck. Alright, so it does pain me to have to do this, but no choice right now. We have to get rid of this card, and we have to get rid of this one, because that's such a dangerous minion. It did put us in an awkward situation where we didn't use up our mana. Hopefully we can use this weapon charge next turn to get rid of this. Then we can follow it up, dropping up a 3/3 and becoming our new weapon. So we're gonna get rid of this now. It will summon a new one, and then we cast this. So we're not in the worst position, I think. We're behind 1 HP, we have a 1 card disadvantage. No, actually we're break even on cards. So it's not the worst position right now. It got a bit worse. So I'm gonna put both of this ogre down. I'm not gonna attack because we can use that with our Thoughtseize Squid Face. Death Rider, we want to make sure that's 2 charges whenever this Death Rider triggers off. That is a card that we definitely want to get rid of with this. So we will actually, I'll happily forego, I'm gonna do this first because we're not gonna summon that this turn either. Yeah, and I'm gonna re-equip the weapon. So, thing is, we trade it here to the first councilman, we kill off the second councilman, and resummon a new weapon. Because that Darkseid councilman is so dangerous left alone. Luckily, he didn't have anything to trade into our Boulderfish Ogre, so we could use his minion to get rid of it. So, at the moment, it seems like the board position is even. I don't think he has an advantage, or us. I don't think either of us has an advantage. I'm gonna put the Grizzly down, even though it makes for a slightly inefficient mana play. The reason is because it has taunt and can block off the in-gang plus the going face. I'm gonna get rid of you. Zoo doesn't really have much board clear, so I'm gonna do this kind of play, where I am basically attempting to gain control of the board with as big as minions as possible right now. And having this taunt here helps a lot, because if he had some kind of burst damage, it has to go through 3. So we're gonna have to go through that. Alright, okay. So that's a problem. It's on the 1-1. Yeah. Okay. So Zoo is such a bad matchup for this deck. Um, Having this here is useful because that allows us to do something like this, where we hopefully pick up, like, I don't know, depending on what we pick up. Yep, alright, so we'll trade into here. We'll go like that. So this does put our weapon on 1 charge. Now the question is whether or not I want to weapon up or not, because if I do not weapon up, then if this dies, it becomes a 5-1 weapon. If I do weapon up and this dies, it becomes a 3-2 weapon. So 5 damage for 6 damage. So we should weapon up. This is almost definitely going to die next turn. Because see, these two trade into it. Unless the Zoo deck has the ability to kill me right now, I don't see a situation in which he's gonna ignore this. Okay, yeah. This is a fully teched out Zoo deck, which Zoo decks are not expensive to begin with, but yeah, there's not much we can do here. It's a matter of time right now. We've lost this game. He even went face because he knew that provided we don't get assassinate right now. So the only way we have a chance here is just our next card to assassinate. So we might as well use this on this minion. Which it isn't, so it's just an 8 now. Oh, actually, no, he's got 8 damage and no cards in hand. So we do have a chance, but we're gonna have to go all in here. So it's the toughest minion is that one and this one, because if it dies, it will at least add an extra 2 damage to our. So it really depends on what he's got for his next card. If it gives if he gets anything in these 2 cards that do 1 damage, then I lose. Otherwise,
Put this apple on your head.
Oh no! If this pinks the face.
You love my new recipe.
Okay. So he does not. We win. I think we win. He goes to face. We have 1 HP. That's enough damage. If he kills 1, then it's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. We win. Wow! Against a fully teched out Zoo deck, winning by the smallest of margins. Alright, okay, that's game 1, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll post up another game.
Valera versus Rome.
Alright.
Watch.
Here's our second game for this beginner rogue deck. We're up against a shaman, which means that if he's a mid-range shaman, well, both shaman archetypes are a disadvantage for us if they have a tunnel trog on turn 1. I'm actually not going to keep the Shiv. I will keep the acidic swamp ooze because it's good against weapons. Although the only real threat Shaman has in terms of weapons is their Doom Hammer on turn 5, which means this is probably already going to come out. At this rate, looking at this hand, this is going to come out on turn 2, which means that it's just a 3/2 minion. So let's see how lucky or unlucky we are. Turn 2 play is...
I hope you like my invention.
I mean, turn 1 play is 1/1 engineer. Okay, so this doesn't look bad for us at all. I'm actually not gonna backstab this because I want to keep it in the case that something more threatening comes out. We have the ability to do. So he's traded into that. Okay. Now in this case, I won't backstab this either. I'm actually just gonna boost this, put both of them outside of kill range, and go for face. So what's he gonna do? He hasn't shown me any strong cards yet. I'm not quite sure. Could we be up against a deck in the similar budget range as us? Or are we okay, that totem is actually a threat.
Push forward.
So I'm gonna actually have to spend effort to kill it, just because it amplifies damage of stuff like lightning storm, which potentially really dangerous. Yeah, we're saving. So these are all. So we have 2 minions on the board, and the rest of these cards are all tempo-based cards. We do have both our Assassin's Blade, which means that provided nothing serious comes up next turn. Hold on. I might face tank that. I might Shiv, Eviscerate, and just face tank it. So, because just to get that extra card, I'll take 2 damage.
Here we go. Push forward.
I mean, we could have used Assassinate on it, but just because I don't know what kind, I can't predict this deck yet. That card also seems like a really weird card to put in a Shaman deck. Yeah, okay, that was the card I was worried about. Fortunately, he's on 15. Okay. I will backstab that card. Ooh, hang on. Yes, I will. Yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna do first, I'll backstab this.
Here we
I'm gonna use up my weapon because I have an Assassin's Blade in hand. I'll do 1 damage to face and then summon my chill in.
Job's done.
Okay. So we have a tempo advantage now. We've had a tempo advantage all game and we haven't let it go. Shaman doesn't really have, because Shaman cards usually have overload, or in his case, he hasn't played any strong tempo cards at all. We've managed to, yeah, see, he wasted like all his mana because of that overload. He had to waste all his mana to make my thing a 0-1. But this puts me in a position to just, it doesn't, because he doesn't have anything on the board, because we're at tempo advantage, even after he casts that card, it didn't actually put him at advantage. We just put another minion down.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Do you have the artifact?
Whoa. Mind blown. If this guy had such good cards in his deck, why didn't he use them? Alright, so Brand is really dangerous card. I will actually forego this damage to get rid of it.
Here we go.
So we have lethal next turn. We have lethal next turn and we have an assassinate. If its only solution is something like a taunt minion, then we have an assassinate for it. I would have gone. I would have gone face immediately with the Vortifice Ogre, and that would have probably been the better card. So right now, okay, so it didn't gain Taunt and Divine Shield. But even if it had gained Taunt and Divine Shield, we had this Assassinate there already. We'll just use it right now to rub salt in there. And yeah, so Assassin's Blade with either that Deadly Poison or the Death Rattle effect from our Squidward, our South Sea Squid Face, is probably the best way we have, or the biggest weapon we have, because it then from a 3-4 weapon becomes a 5-4 weapon, which is basically 20 damage overall, which either guarantees us tempo throughout the mid game, or basically, as you saw, then can potentially do a lot of damage to face. So I hope you enjoyed this deck, and thanks for watching.